Someone who works here would be a great suspect. They know the area, make the kill, and admire their handiwork at their leisure when the body is brought in for examination. Mustache hair on the food. Not charming, but interesting if it came from someone the killer's height.
Where are you going, and who do you want to see at the devil's time of night? Where are you going? You've come to see the boss? Down the hall. If I were you, I'd keep my nose out of other folks' affairs.
Boss? Someone called boss interests me, and so does the person who said it. Said the spider to the fly. Tabram? A Marty Tabram died of stab wounds in Cicero on April 7th. The case wasn't connected to Andrew Chapman's because one was female, the other male. Coincidence? Two victims from the 19th century died on the same days as two victims in the present with the same last names. The name of the victim by the fence may confirm my suspicions. The mortuary assistant, Robert Mann, is the same man I met in the school foyer. I see possibilities that would bring a mortuary assistant together with a headmaster interested in anatomy. A doctor has committed his mother for depression and paranoid delusions. Druid keeps this note near him. Does the diagnosis run in the family? London with the East End neighborhood detailed out. Druid knows his way around. A gift not given. Or was it returned? This is expensive. Druid has money. The JP mark on these shoes tells me the Druid was a customer of bootmaker John Pizer. I wonder where these shoes have been. Interesting character, John Druid. Even in his chosen portrait, he looks depressed. Judging by his classroom, he has a background in anatomy, and there's no disguising that mustache. John Pizer is interesting me again as a suspect. If he had shine stations around the city, he knew the area and its people very well. This one was in proximity to the first victim. Of course! The desks are arranged like September 1888, and 2 days have importance, the 8th and the 30th. And on September 8th, 1888, Annie Chapman was the victim. And on September 30th, the killer promises to strike again. I'm curious about these overcoats, but I can't just rifle through them all. Evidence will give me probable cause to search the right one. Victims of a serial killer. I see Martha Tabram and the unnamed victim. Annie Chapman is marked as the next victim. When I find the missing name, I bet the pattern is the same in Chicago. The locket portrait is school headmaster Montague John Druitt. Perhaps the women were secret rivals and public friends. Annie picked up the killer's coins before the authorities could discover them. And she removed Druitt's picture from the locket because she believed he could have been the killer. The charcoal gray thread is woolen, and that discoloration is unmistakably blood. Were the slide and thread mistakes by the killer, or convenient plants? I'm going to follow the evidence and look for a charcoal gray wool coat. Mr. Robert Mann, mortuary assistant, wearing a woolen, charcoal gray coat fashion statement. Good to see you again this evening, Mr. Mann. Thank you for your assistance in directing me to Headmaster Druitt. Robert Mann became the strongest suspect, but is he a careless killer or a guy being set up? If the blood on his coat belongs to the victim, it could be murder or just an accident of his occupation. The victim who died on August 31st is Polly Nichols. Her murder came before Annie Chapman and after Martha Tabram.